Welcome back, everybody, to another shocking episode of Lockdown 23 and 1. That's right, today's episode, man, you ain't gonna believe how the story came my way. It all began with a smell. That's right, a smell. How can a smell lead me to a crime story? You ain't gonna believe it. This story's about a teenager deciding he wants to go hunt down a sex offender, and this story's coming from exactly where my parents live. Not far from me, like I said, a smell led me to everything. I know none of it's really making sense, but I'm gonna break it all down here in 1 second. But first, as always, if you're new to the channel and enjoy all things lockup and crime related, then this is absolutely where you need to be. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave, and check out my playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today. Alright, so this story begins with me and my family driving down to a creek. And I drive these roads almost every single day. I know every inch of them. And this road right next to the river and the creeks and stuff, it's a 2-lane road. There ain't really nowhere to turn around at. But we done had our fun, went swimming and stuff. We're coming back home. As we're coming back, this landfill truck is coming. We can see him because these roads are really windy and they're real small. So the truckers have to go pretty slow around these certain bends. And when we got around the bend, the landfill truck got next to us, and the smell. I said to Brittany immediately, that thing smells like a dead body. Absolute putrid. You would never smell trash smelling like that. And it lingered for like a half a mile. And then I said to myself, man, there ain't never no landfill trucks coming this way. So, we get past the funky, dusty smell, and I don't think anything of it until later on when I get home. So finally we get home, I start relaxing, but the smell's still in the back of my mind. I said, hey, let me go ahead and check some stories and see if there's been some dead bodies or something missing in the landfills and they've been searching for them in the immediate area, right? Because that smell, man, I'm here to tell you, it wasn't your average smell. I knew for a fact it was something else. So I started searching local stories, and sure enough, this one came my way. And I'm almost 100% sure the smell I smelled was related to this story. But it says, in July 2026, just a couple weeks ago, an 18-year-old named Kian Andrew Neal was bound over to Hamilton County Grand Jury after confessing to vigilante-style murder of a 56-year-old Robert George Locke, a registered sex offender in Collegedale, Tennessee. The investigation began after Locke's mother reported him missing on May 24th after finding his wallet, cash, keys, and cell phone left behind. The Collegedale Police Department launched an investigation utilizing cadaver dogs who alerted on Locke's bed. Forensic testing revealed blood reactions throughout Locke's bedroom, kitchen, and bathroom. Neal was arrested on June 12, 2026 after police received a tip from a teenage girl. Neal had met her at a vacation Bible school at Collegedale Church to confess his actions, telling her he had killed a rapist and felt heavy remorse. During his recorded police interrogation, Neal stated that he chose to act because he was sexually abused as a child himself, which left him harboring intense anger towards sex offenders.
I kind of had some bad experiences when I was a kid, like, I guess sexual experiences. So I really was like scarred from that for a long time. And I was like angry that people would do that type of stuff in general. Through the woods to the back of his house, right to the side of his house. And then I went in and killed him. With a hammer.
He told detectives that he thought it was justice and believed true justice was not being served by the legal system. Registry records indicated that Locke had a 2003 conviction for child molestation. Neal remains held in Hamilton County Jail on a $1 million bond. He's facing several severe charges: criminal homicide, aggravated burglary, abuse of a corpse, tampering with evidence, death under suspicion, unusual or unnatural circumstances. Now I know a lot of y'all are wondering, where the hell is this smell gonna come into play? Well, sure enough, it says law enforcement spent 2 days searching a landfill for the remains of Robert George Locke.
But we do know that Locke was last seen in the Collegedale area. And as we roll that drone footage that our Local 3 team got earlier, I've seen several Collegedale police vehicles come in and out of this entrance so far. They have taped off the area that they are searching, and as they continue to search acres and acres of this property through tons of trash and debris. And we did find out by an anonymous source that told us that they're searching the size approximately of a football field. And again, that is all we know right now.
Kean Neal admitted to investigators a dismembered Locke's body and disposed of the remains inside of a dumpster. Surveillance footage captured Neal dragging a wagon and struggling to throw 2 large black trash bags into a dumpster located at a garden store. And I'm not going to name the garden store, but I've been there before to grab me some beautiful plants. I'm here to tell you they got plenty of them. I would name them, but a lot of people might be deterred by those dirty dumpsters now, right? So investigators believe a commercial waste management contractor emptied that specific dumpster and transported its contents directly to a landfill nearby. It says, based on Neal's confession and commercial trash collection routes, the Collegedale Police Department and the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office and federal partners mobilized heavy machinery to excavate and sift through an area of the landfill roughly the size of a football field. After 2 days of intensive sorting through tons of debris, authorities officially halted recovery efforts. Despite their efforts, Locke's body has never been found. And one can only be left to assume the smell that I smell off that landfill truck in an area that I've never seen a landfill truck be at, probably driving to some kind of forensics lab, see if they can get some DNA out the back of it. I don't know, but one thing's for sure, man, the smell and the story combined and how it all fits together. Yep, that's what I smell, a dead body for sure. But one more thing, it says when investigators searched Kean Neal's white Honda, they discovered Robert George Locke's DNA and visible blood spread extensively across multiple sections of the car. The vehicle had been sitting in a tow yard after Neal crashed into a ditch on Camp Road, less than 3 miles from Locke's home. It said inside the trunk, where Neal confessed to loading the main bags containing Locke's dismembered torso, inside the car they found a knife, sawhorses, and a pillow. I think we can only put together in our imagination what those 3 items were used for. And I'm pretty sure the pillow wasn't to help him go to sleep. But let me just say, old Kean Neal is going to be absolutely fine in lockup if I were to guess. This dude's coming in there with a straight badge of honor. To many inmates, at least, as soon as they hear what he's in there for, man, they're going to praise him. How'd you do that, bro? Tell me. But another thing that a lot of people forget to mention, even with the badge of honor, doesn't matter. These dudes is trying to get out. Chances are one of them inmates is going to jump on his case. Because even though Kean Neal, admitted to everything during the interrogation, he's still, I believe, pleading not guilty. I don't know how that's going to work out, even though he confessed to everything. Probably, maybe insanity. If they can prove that Neal was, targeted as a child and abused in the same kind of way, man, yeah, it's going to play a big factor when it comes down to sentencing. Or his mental processing. Like I said, he might not be able to stand fit for trial.
Our office routinely prosecutes individuals for the very types of crimes that he was convicted of, that he was sent to prison for. But we also can't condone an individual that appoints himself to be judge, jury, executioner, vengeance, whatever term he would like to use.
But I'm out here, ladies and gentlemen, if there's anything to get from this one is if you decide to take justice into your own hands on someone that should be in prison for his crimes for the rest of his life, but he's not, chances are 100% you're going to be taking his spot just because you couldn't handle a stranger that had nothing to do with you be on the streets, man, right? So it's kind of wild to think. It's same concept in prison, man. Not every inmate in there is going to hunt down, people with bad crimes. It's usually the people that ain't getting out for an extremely long time or they're a part of an organization and they have to put pressure on these type of individuals. But the normal Joe Schmo in prison, man, if they find out someone is a sex offender or something, yeah, they're gonna, treat them like crap, do them dirty and stuff like that. But they ain't gonna sit there and try to kill them because then they ain't going home. They ain't gonna see their kids. They ain't gonna see nothing, right? So just keep that in mind. I'm sure these guys, before they went and did their crimes, knew exactly what they were facing, man, so I guess it really ain't nothing I could say or do to stop someone that's already on that path. I'm out here, though, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta go cut my grass before more storms come their way. Until the next time, though, as always, y'all be easy, be safe, and stay free.